What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Submission Fishing Live. My name is Muto, your host. Uh, Thanks for coming in here. It's Thursday. We almost made it. Almost made it to the fishing time. What, 2 days, 1 day left? Um, Funny thing is, I forgot to hit live. I was here at 7 o'clock talking to myself for about 3 minutes before I realized that it wasn't broadcasting. Hey, man, the struggles of the live show for sure. So you guys got Spotty Bowl this weekend. Awesome. Who we got in here? Cal, what's going on, man? Cave Dog. You're usually in here 30 minutes late. Glad you can make it. First one this time. Eric, glad you can join us. Always good to have you. Good fishing with you this weekend. Zach, saw you this weekend. Cal, you were out this weekend too. Awesome. Good to see you. Jessica, glad you can make the show. Captain Adobo, what's going on, man? Enter the dojo. Oos, welcome. Who we got in here? Zoe K. How are you? Out there representing DHS. Gonna see you this weekend. It's gonna be fun. Tell me what your favorite fish is. What's your favorite thing to fish for, Zoe? Mark G, what's going on, man? Glad you can join us. Welcome, welcome. So everybody, if you're new here and you see people typing in oos, basically that means that you've liked the video. The likes really help us out. Lets everybody know in the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that that you've liked the comment, it'll push it through. So really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Stingray, what's going on, man? Hey, better get those fish locked up before Eric drops the hammer again. He wasn't liking that mouth open for sure. Yeah, so this weekend or last weekend was good. It was 4th of July. Obviously, hope everybody had a good time. We did a lot of fishing. Fished with a lot of you guys out there. We went to the bait. I fished twice. We went out to the bait barge. When did we go out to the bait barge? Was that Friday? Yeah, Friday night we went out, did a night session. That was pretty cool. And then 4th of July, I went out to La Jolla with Salty. So the bait barge was cool. We fished there. Me and Eric got there a little earlier than everybody else. Definitely before sunset, probably around like maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. We started slaying it early. Eric, was using his trusty A-rig. He doubled up on some spotted bay bass, so that was cool. I don't see that happen very often. I guess he's seen it before. It was the first time I've seen it double up on the barred sand bass. So that was really cool. Everything seemed to be working per usual. The slow pitch jigs were popping off, and I think everybody was getting hit pretty hard on those big paddle tails. Sound like the big fish were coming on those. It seems like after the sun went down. Aside from that, I mean, it was a rough time. I think I lost, like 6 slow pitch jigs or something ridiculous. I was over on I don't know what that would be, the far side. I guess that would be the south side, or depending how you're facing, maybe the west side. I don't really know how it rotates, but hooked onto something large. Thing was pulling drag like crazy. I don't know. I think my drag was buttoned down too tight, and my reel was just screaming like crazy, and then ended up losing the first one. And then after that, it was like, I think I got hooked up on that power line or sewer line or whatever it is, probably, I don't know, 5 more times. I think it was the only one getting stuck there. I know Dario went and he was fishing the same area I was, and he didn't seem to catch on anything. And I lost lures like crazy over there. Yeah, so that was no fun. But that was a good outing. I mean, Zach, his drive broke in his kayak, but he made it back. I mean, that's cool. You guys all went out there and got him back safely. Good job, Zach. I know, Zach, you've helped out too. I remember that one time you were towing Cal, so it's cool to see everybody helping each other out on the water there. Yeah, so if you had anything, post your catches, what you had at this Friday, but that was a cool night. And then let's see.
Zoe answered your question.
Zoe, goldfish and salmon. That's your favorite to catch? I want to see that goldfish game next time. Salmon we could probably do next time we go to Alaska. Those that don't know, guys, Zoe's my niece, so we're giving her the big shout out today. We're gonna see her this weekend, so I'm not gonna be here this weekend. I'll be out of town, so I won't be doing Spotty Bowl. It'll be my mulligan, obviously. I'm gonna go out to the river. I'm gonna try to fish up there. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll pack all my stuff up. Then what else happened? So actual 4th of July, I went out to La Jolla. That was the 4th of July. And Salty went out with me. And of course, you know, when we get out there, the night before was supposed to be like a really great time. It was said 17 intervals in the waves. What that basically means is, but before the waves break on the surf, you have 17 seconds in between. There's a 17-second countdown. The significant height, I think, was supposed to be 3 feet. Average height was supposed to be like foot and a half or 2 feet. So we get out there, and of course, the waves are like, I mean, they were like 5 seconds apart. They were not 17 seconds. And I guess Salty looked at it later and they had updated it, that morning. But by the time you get there, it's too late. So it was 5 seconds intervals to get off the launching from the beach. It wasn't too bad. The waves, I don't think were that high going out at least. But I know I launched. I got crushed. I just was looking at the video. So I've got a video of it I'll be making pretty soon. And I mean, I think I took like 4 waves right over the bow, right in the chest. I mean, I was soaking wet by the time I even got out. And then it wasn't even that hot. It was kind of chilly. It was overcast. So I had a little towel wrapped around my legs for most of the day. But yeah, that was a lie big time on that timing. But yeah, that was a good time. The swells were pretty big too out in the water. We were definitely bobbing up and down big time for sure. It was pretty crazy. Big rolling swells, but not too bad. I think if it was, too much worse, it probably would have been a bad day, but it was actually pretty good. Salty caught, he was hooked up on something big, and we were out there, and we think it was a black sea bass. Something was pulling hardcore, and it was giving him some big head shake and stuff like that too. And he just couldn't pull it off the ground. It was way too big, I think, for the gear that he had, but it was pretty exciting for the time it was going on, at least over in the kelp, just yanking on it. Eventually he had to button it down, because you're going to sit there and fight the thing for 3 hours. He had limited time. So he just buttoned it down and broke off, unfortunately. Had to suffer the heartbreak that we all do, losing that big fish. I caught Calico City. So the calico bite was on. I didn't get any rockfish. Every time I went down for rockfish, I was getting calicos. I think I got calicos on like 4 different lures or something like that. So brought a couple of them out here.
We've got some good comments that we catch up on.
So if you do go to La Jolla, you can try, if you want to go calico fishing, obviously the slow pitch worked. Spiked myself. I used the Jigpara semi-long. This one's a 60 gram. I had a 60 gram short, one of the short ones that I lost to. I caught some calico on this one. A 60 gram short I lost. And then also I got one on this. This is see if you guys can see it. It's a Yozuri Hydro Minnow. This thing's actually pretty big. And I was just trolling this around. It's like the mackerel color. And I mean, I got smashed by this thing on a calico that was, I think this was bigger than the calico, to be honest with you. The smallest calico I caught that day was like almost the size of this thing. I got this trolling. This I'm pretty sure I got at Walmart, guys. So you can pick these up. So we know it works. I mean, it worked for me. This was the first time I used it. Took it out of the package. But yeah, I was just trolling it around. It's a pretty inexpensive lure. Super heavy. It's got good rattle to it. But it caught fish on the troll. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, check out Walmart. I think I just got it on the shelf. One of those things that looked like it would catch fish, and it definitely did. And then later in the day, so I caught some vertical fishing. I caught some on the troll, and then I started doing some topwater. So then I just switched to the Brian's favorite lure, the crocodile lure. And these things just, they kill it, guys. So I started casting these out. See the color there, the blue one. The green one works too. Anything with like that mackerel pattern. But these things just slayed. I think I caught 2 on this one. And then I caught a pretty big barracuda on that thing too. Those were a little closer to shore. I busted out the crocodile lure. And the key to using the crocodile, guys, is to let it, I know people have talked about this before, but you got to let it sink. Don't just cast it out there and burn it in as fast as you can. It's just not nearly as effective as if you cast it, let it flutter down, let it wobble. I mean, if you're out there looking for calicos and stuff, give it 10 seconds, let it drop 10 seconds, then reel it in. Then you can burn it in and then pause again. Wait for the pause, burn it in again, and that's when you get the bite. Bite seems to come on the fall. or when it's falling, and when you start to reel it back in is when they really slam that thing. So I had good success on that. Pulled up a big Barracuda too, so that was definitely working. So we catch up on the chat here. Yeah, if you guys have any questions,
there are a few in there. So.
Definitely hit me up. Like I said, if I have the answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't, I'll let you know. We can find it. But there's a lot of guys in here too. Or if you don't watch this live, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, you guys could always put questions in on the comment section, and I'll answer them. Next time we come around, like I said, I do the show just once a week, so we can definitely get to it. Stingray. Big swim baits are my favorite thing to fish recently. Yeah, how big are you talking? You doing like 5-inch, 7-inch, or even bigger? And then are you using like underspins or just on a straight lead head, or how you fishing those, Stingray? And what are you catching? I guess I should say. Sound Fishing, what's going on, man? Welcome. Thanks for joining. Oh, you got a question too. Didn't even see that. What type of clip do you use to avoid the twist when using the jigs? I just use I put a swivel in between my jigs. If you're talking like the slow fall jigs, I'll just use a swivel in between. So I'll use braid and then a swivel. Obviously the smallest one I can get away with because I don't want it to be too heavy. And then so usually braid, swivel, and then I use monofilament, then to a clip, and then to the lure. And then that should eliminate the twist, because as it comes up or as you're spinning, that swivel will definitely take the twist out of there. So that's what I use it for all my slow pitch stuff. So swivel, mainline swivel, leader, clip, the jig. Obviously you can skip the clip if you just want to tie directly onto the jig, but that's the way I do it. And it seems to work. Leonard, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Awesome. Gonna fish harder this weekend. I know you are. You guys are going for the win. Yeah, Eric, I do. I've got a breakdown of my first 2 videos. I'm pretty sure he's seen them though, on how I fished that slow pitch one. Obviously, I'm gonna have to make another one probably in like a year or 2. There's already a few little nuances that I've changed or things that I've learned that I'll put in there. But even still, you can catch a ton of fish with those basics for sure. How were the dolphins? Yeah, fake name. Thanks for joining, man. I saw your comment on my video. The dolphins are cool. We were out in La Jolla, and I just put out a video on the shorts, little short video on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. I had a whole pot of dolphins, man. They came right up next to us, swam next to me, swam past Salty, and it was pretty cool. Big old pot. I'd say probably at least 10 to 20 dolphins. I mean, that's one of the things that's unique. And one of the important things about living here in San Diego is using what we have, I think a lot of people come out or they live here and they don't really use what we have. I mean, you can go to your back door and go kayak fishing, right? Go out in the open water. We were like 3 miles out in a kayak, literally fishing with dolphins. I mean, where does that happen? Even when you launch on the bay, you have beautiful weather, and you take advantage of it. And sometimes I don't appreciate it, I live in Carlsbad and I'm fairly close to the beach, and sometimes I just go down there and walk, because otherwise you live right there and you don't appreciate those things, or you don't take advantage of them. And we might not live here forever. Sometimes you're going to move, but I think if we ever leave here, you're going to appreciate what you had. So it's good to get out there and experience those things, because there's very few places in the world I think you could actually go out in your backyard and experience things like that. So, I mean, fishing with dolphins on a random Sunday, I mean, that's freaking awesome. And what's funny was I was rigging up, also on a sand bass. I've rigged up a mackerel, and that thing, I mean, it was pretty big. I'll post the video of it probably next week. I'll do my La Jolla video. It was a pretty good sized mackerel, probably like the size of the mackerel stickers that we have. And that thing was fat too. And I sent it down on a dropper loop with a circle hook. And this was the time the dolphins were going by. And I got slammed pretty hard. And it was a sand bass. And the sand bass, it was good. It was a legal bass. It was a good size keeper. But it was like, I don't know how it ate this mackerel. It's freaking crazy. Sometimes at least I do this where I tie on a bait and I wonder, I'm like, oh, this is too big, right? Oh, this is going to be too big to catch this fish, or this is too much. But when you look at the size of the stuff that they actually eat, it's like, it's crazy that they eat it. The size of this mackerel. So, and I'm throwing lures, 60-gram lures that I think might be a little too big, and they're literally a quarter of the size of this freaking mackerel that went down there. So, puts it into perspective sometimes of the things that they eat and how you can get a bit away with that stuff. Stingray's talking about using the big swim baits, right? Sometimes I see those things and I'm like, it's too big. It's too big. They eat it. I mean, they can get these things down. Same thing with this one. This thing's pretty big. It's like 5 inches, I think. Actually, more than that. This thing's probably 7 inches, and was just crushed by a calico, which was crazy.
Salty's here.
Salty, what's going on, man? Glad you can make it. Thank you so much for showing up. Alex. Alex made it, the surf man. The reigning.
Fake name is Panda Bear.
The reigning champion. The reigning species champion. But yeah, I'd like to go surf fishing with you sometime, Alex. That'd be awesome. Panda's fake name? No.
It says Panda Bear. By the way, Muto, Panda Bear.
I didn't know that. So fake name, I didn't even know. It was one of my best friends from high school. I had no clue that was your screen name on YouTube. How am I supposed to know that? I just thought you were some random dude out there liking my videos.
Really nice with him.
That's awesome. But Josh, welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you. So fake name, man, we grew up. I've known him since, I just turned 39 this year. We've been friends since junior high school. I think 7th, 8th grade. Went to junior high together. Then we played football together all through high school. Then we lived together when we got out of high school. So, man, it's long history. We got to see you again. Invite me to your house for that barbecue. So we live in different cities now. We're a couple hours away, but good times. Yeah, Zach, take time to smell the roses for sure, man. I mean, another thing is with that, like I grew up in the mountains. I know my mom's on here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Jean Muto. Mom's in the house. Welcome, Mom. But the thing with that is I went fishing up there. So I grew up in Crestline, California. I don't know if you guys know where that is. You're probably more familiar with Lake Arrowhead or Big Bear. It's the same mountain range. It's about 5,000 foot elevation where Crestline is. It's about 2.5 hours from here. And I grew up there too. And, it was when you're up there, you just want to leave and you want to get out when you're a kid. But it was really a nice place to live. I mean, we used to just go off-roading, grew up snowball fights, off-roading all the time, jumping in the lake when it was frozen, freezing our asses off, all that crazy stuff. Just totally different world. So you got to live it up. And when I go back, it's really nice, Now I fished the lake up there, caught that lightning trout last time I was there. So you go up with a new perspective. And every time I go up there now, I go to the lake. And same thing as a kid, you'd walk past it all the time. And I went to the lake a lot. When we were little, we would live on it. But and I even fished there a little bit when I was young. I fished some of the other lakes. But it's just good to get on the lakes, if you live near those things.
Stingray answered your question about what he fishes.
My assistant's got some insight over here.
He answered your question about what he catches on the swim baits and how he fishes those.
Stingray. So you've been fishing the 5 to 8 inch swim baits, both lead head and underspin. Been catching a lot of spotties. Nice. You get any sand bass on those, or just mostly spotties?
Salty wants to know if you ended up with any sheephead after he left.
No, I didn't go that close. You were telling me kind of where they were. I ended up just drifting further out. I don't know why. I wanted to go look for sheep's head in La Jolla. I even had cut bait and everything. I don't know why I didn't. I wanted to go a little deeper for some reason. I think maybe because you don't get to fish that deep so much, when you're in the bays all the time. So in the sheep's head and stuff's my understanding, they were kind of 30 to 60 feet of water, but I wanted to go out at like 200 feet range just because it's different, something new. See what you can catch down there.
Did you see where the guy said they didn't get home till 2:30 in the morning? I was like, Michael said he'd be home at 8. He didn't get home till midnight. And we're out till 2:30.
Oh yeah. Hey, you guys stayed out till 2:30? That's crazy. That was Friday night. So guys, we went out Friday night. I got there I think I got on the water at like 2. Eric was on the water at 7 a.m. And that means he fished till like 2 a.m. or you guys got home at 2 a.m. But I probably got off the water at like 10 or something like that. Still, it was like a 7-8 hour trip. And you guys are crazy. I mean, that's late.
Eric wants to know from your mom if you're too old to get a spanking.
Am I too old to get a spanking? Probably not.
Dave Rage is going out on the Grande tomorrow.
Dave Rage on the Grande tomorrow. Nice.
Tell Tyler I said hi.
Yeah, tell Tyler I said hi. If you see Ash out there, dude, tell him Muto from Submission Fishing. Thanks him for the that bluefin he gave us. That was awesome. Yeah, I was looking at the counts actually today on the fishing reports. Yeah, they were kind of slim. There was, I think, what the Grande had 7 or 4 fish. There wasn't many fish caught. So hopefully you guys get on them. Hopefully it turns around. You know, sometimes when it's slow, I mean, eventually it's got to go up. It's got to pick up, right? But hope you get on them. I think the quality of fish is still big. They're still getting those 100, 200-pound fish, but not as many fish. But you seem to slay it. I don't know. What are you going to fish out there, Dave? You going to go with the irons, the knife jigs, or are you just going live bait? Or I'm curious what they're getting them on now. Like I said, when I went out a couple weeks ago, it was all deep. They were all deep. So 300-gram knife jigs and then 8-ounce to 10-ounce weights with a live bait on them. Good stuff.
All right, you can read your last few comments.
Let me catch up on the comments here. Oh, you got a Stingray's got a video of the pod swimming by. Yeah, man, that's cool. That's good stuff. That's pretty. Yeah, things like that are awesome because you can't replace those memories. You know, I went out to Alaska when halibut fishing out there, and it was literally just like killer whales everywhere, swimming around, you know, blowing off their spouts and swimming by the boat. That's so cool. Really sums up the whole experience. Yeah, fake name and rolling incognito. Yeah, I'd say I'd be like, man, this is just some cool dude that's really into fishing. Have you ever fished in your life? Fake name? I don't think you have. As far as I'd known you. I was giving your dad tips though, so he never hit me up. I was telling him, giving him some of my trout tips. Did you pass on the info? I'm wondering. I'm not like a great trout fisherman, but hey, I caught some trout, so I can kind of fish. Dave is the fishing machine. Yeah, man. Dave's on the boats. Do you buy like a yearly pass or they just let you on for free? Or you just live to fish? Live to get on those boats. Zach taking advantage. Was your wife out of town, Zach? Or you're taking advantage of your wife being out of town?
Yeah, Dave's taking advantage.
You just take her with you, man. It'll be fun.
Aww.
Maybe not, unless you're trying to get away from her. Then you wait, she's out of town. We have to get Zoe on the water with you. She'll bring her frozen pole. Yeah, Jackie, bring her out. That's my niece. We went fishing up in I made a little stick lure for her. I actually bought her fishing pole for her birthday and took her out fishing what was that, last year? Yeah, end of last year. But yeah, and when you guys come down, I'll throw her on the kayak. We'll make like a little seat, just take her in the Carlsbad Lagoon. We'll get her bit. Throw a little Ned rig on for her. Take her for a ride. This weekend, Zach, you're going for Spotty Bowl side pots. Yeah, you know, that's a good strategy. For those of you guys that don't know, Spotty Bowl's coming up. It's a local fishing tournament here we have in San Diego. It ran, I mean, it's been months and months. It's, so what, 12 fishing days, and then the top 6 of each in 2 separate sessions. So 6 sessions and 6 sessions. And then the top 6 of each one get to go in the playoffs. I think there was like 40-something people going. So if you're not in the playoffs, definitely go for the side pots because there's still money to be had. There's still first places to win, you know, right? Get your name in the books, man. Win something. Go in there and get a little bit of money or just get a first place in a side pot for sure. I think a lot of people they bailed out. They got eliminated, but one of the cool things is there's so many side pots to do. There's like biggest other, smallest other, largest halibut. But I think that's the way to go, Zach. Just look for those. Look for the side pots, man. Still win some because there's other things to win. Plus, you can still get a first place, even if you're not in the playoffs. I mean, it's hard to get a first place. So even if you just go and get first, I mean, that's awesome. Chuck on the Mustang caught 3 tuna yesterday.
They got 25 today.
Dude, they got 25 today. Yeah, so that's awesome. 25 bluefin today. That's cool because I looked at the report today, so it must have been yesterday's report, and they didn't have a lot, but and I'd be happy with 25. Stingrays, I want to go to Alaska so bad. My grandpa and I have been talking about it for years. He grew up there. Yeah, dude, Alaska's good. It's as good as advertised. You know, everybody tells you how great it is. Um, it really is as good. Well, we went on a cruise, a Disney cruise. But then each stop you can do like excursions. You know, you sign up for them, and like you can just go fishing. You could sign up for fishing trips, or like I think we went canoeing one day, we went kayaking one day, went fishing one day. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I wish I would have done another fishing day, but we fished for halibut, and we got some awesome big halibut. It was just 4 people on a boat. We went on a little steel boat, just hauled out there, got to the water quick, and just fished all day. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I got, I think, 3 giant halibut. We got some cod. We got a whole bunch of ratfish that we just threw back. It was funny was we caught like we were there with a little kid and his mom, and then it was just me and Jessica. And the he was trying to we caught a shark or something, or what, we got a shark. It was tied up on the line, and there was like a flounder or something on there. It was some other flatfish, and it wasn't a halibut. And maybe it was like a ratfish or something. And the deckhand, it kept flopping around, and he was trying to get the shark off. So he just took the gaff and just started beating the hell out of the fish. And the mom like covered the kid's eyes, and she was like shielding him and like turned him away because he was just smashing this thing's head in because it was annoying him that it was flopping around. But yeah, man, Alaska is so fun. I'm definitely going to do a trip up there, even if it's just a fishing trip. We went out of Ketchikan, Alaska, and there's places you can just stay there. I mean, I've got the flyers here still. You can literally just fly up there, stay in the hotels, and they take you on fishing trips like all day. You can just do like a week, come back, sleep in the hotel. They feed you, seafood and all that stuff, and then you just go out and fish the next day, and then they ship it back. So we had all this halibut that we caught. We had halibut, we had cod, and they freeze it and shipped it to us here in California from Alaska. So definitely recommend that. They processed it and everything, filleted it out. Definitely a good experience. You have the only wife who likes fishing. Are you the only one that likes fishing? Maybe you are. Apparently in this group. That's surprising. Why do you like fishing so much?
I guess because I've got stuff. I have some success with it, so that's fun.
You come on. You wanna come on?
Sure.
Maybe Jessica will tell us. She can tell us how you get your wife's fishing. Was it like the bite? Was it your first catch?
No. I guess I just like fishing because I like fishing because it's not being in the office, doing paperwork, which is normally what I do all day. And my phone usually doesn't have service or reception, so it's like I'm forced to just enjoy the day. And then you're doing something active that takes a little bit of skill, and I do catch things usually on Michael's setup that he's rigged up for me, but
so you never went fishing, but why did you want to go the first time?
Probably because you wanted to go.
And then what was it? Like your first catch that got you into it, or like the thrill, or?
Yeah, even though our first mini trips out of Oceanside, I was usually queasy the whole time. Dramamine didn't really help, but it was still not being in the office, so I thought that was great. And then when you started bringing your own rigs and getting into it, not using just the rentals, then that made it more fun for me. And then when you got me my own pole, the cinnamon roll, then I have like some ownership now and a little bit of like pride. Like I don't know what I'm doing really, but it works. Some stuff works, so that's cool. It's just nice to do something that's like different, get out of the house.
How would you convince them to get their wives to go fishing? Is there anything no?
I don't know.
What was your reservations? The blood or because at first you didn't want to hook the fish, right?
Well, I didn't. It's like this, it's like you don't know what's happening. You don't know what the fish is going to do or how it's going to feel or if it's going to bite you or whatever. And then you just get in there and do it. And it's kind of empowering, I guess. It's probably the same reason I kind of like shooting, because it's overcoming something, doing something that's kind of hard and that not everybody does. And kind of isn't like an empowering feeling to do something that's a little bit difficult like that. I don't know. I like it. And then I like it when you cook whatever I've caught and it's delicious. So it comes full circle.
What's your favorite thing to catch?
I really liked catching the yellowfin, but I really want a Dorado because I lost one at the boat. It was the saddest day. So I'd like some redemption on that. And then I'd like to catch a bluefin someday. I don't know if I could get it overboard though.
Well, they got it.
They were fighting so hard. I think I would die. But it would be fun. Hi, Zoe.
There you guys go. See, submission fishing is here. Getting your wives and girlfriends into fishing. Show them the video. I'll be like, look, this dude's wife fishes. She loves it. Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question about why she likes to fish, but I think they just have to try it, right? I think that like it's the hooking of fish and probably grosses them out. And it's, I don't know. I guess men and women are different, right? I guess that's not very PC to say, right? But sorry, it's true. Just different hobbies.
Okay, back to my assistant role. Dave answered your question about what he's going to use on the Grande.
Dave, what are you going to use on the Grande? I'll listen to the crew. Probably start with the SK jig on a 40-pound and switch the flat line on 30. Nice. So they downsized a little bit. Sounds like the tuna. From those. Yeah, man. We were like 65, 80 pounds. But they're probably starting to shrink down.
Eric's comment about his brother in Alaska catching a 187-pound halibut.
Oh, yeah, Eric's brother caught a 187-pound halibut. That's pretty crazy. Mine weren't that big. I didn't have a big barn door, but I'd love to catch one of those. And what's funny is in Alaska, there's rules about, I forget what it is. If it's like under so many inches, you can keep it. Like maybe if it's like 3 feet, maybe like 4 feet long or something. And then there's a range where you can't keep it from like 34 inches to like 100 inches. You can't keep them. And then once they get over like 100 inches again, you can keep them. I don't know how that works, but that's an interesting little fact that there's like the only fish usually it's just like a certain size, right? After a certain point, you can keep them. It's different with the halibut up there in Alaska. Pretty crazy. Someone has to watch the kids. It's true, Salty. Just take them with you. Well, you got some young kids. Get a babysitter. I love it. Maybe no children help. Yeah, that makes sense. What's going on, DJ S760? Good to see you. I'm not sure. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, so we talked about Spotty Bowl. So I'm going out to the Colorado River this weekend. So I'm going to miss Spotty Bowl, and I'm going to try to fish out there. I've never fished, but I bought a travel pole. I'm going to bring my bait caster and see what happens. I know there's striper, carp. I think there's trout. Trout probably not going to be biting. I think it's too hot. It's supposed to be like 115, 120 degrees. So it's going to be freaking ridiculous. That's going to be insane. So, Randall, what's going on, man? Oos, Randall. Thanks for making it. Fellow purple belt there from Alliance Jiu-Jitsu, Carlsbad. Give him a shout out. He's a killer. Take your leg off with a foot lock. Take off your foot and feed it to you. Thanks for making it, Randall. Yeah, so we're going out to Colorado River. So if you guys have ever fished there, any tips would be helpful. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've been watching videos like crazy. See what people they catch them, man. They've been catching some big stripers too. Looks like a lot of jerk baits work. Probably a lot of the same stuff that would catch spotties. So I got a fairly heavy, lightish setup. So it should be good, right? It's not super light. It's not ultra light. I ordered one setup from Amazon, and then it didn't come in. It was supposed to be like a 4-piece rod set, which was a little smaller. And then they do that thing where they change the date. It was like supposed to be here yesterday, and then they're like, "Oh, now it's coming the 13th." So that doesn't do me any good. I had to go to Turner's, and I had like a Daiwa.
I had to go to Turner's.
I had to go to Turner's. That's right. I was forced to go to Turner's, and then I had to get I got like a 3-piece, like 7'11" rod. So it's still pretty. Form factor is like broken down in 3 pieces, is maybe like 3 feet or so. So I think I'll just carry that on the plane. Maybe pack it in the bag if it'll fit, but or just check it. So I'm flying out with my own stuff, and then I'm going to see if I can get on it. So if anybody has any experience lake fishing, especially for that big stuff, um, oh, Zach, Mr. Inflatable for Colorado River. I'll hit him up on Discord for sure. I think what I'm going to do is just go to the bait shop. Um, I think that's usually your best bet, right? Try to get that advice. Um, for one, they want to sell you something. Hopefully, they sell you something that works. But the people there are usually pretty helpful. At least I know the ones around here. Like I go to an Oceanside, I hear them talking to the customers, and they're usually giving them pretty good advice, about what to use and what not to use, and it's pretty helpful. I know one dude wanted he bought a reel, and the guy asked him what size you want, and he said 80 pound, 80 pound line, because he was gonna go fish the bays, and the guy there was like, "Can I just ask you, are you sure you want 80 pound? What do you want? What do you plan on catching?" And the guy was just straight up like, "I don't know." And then he set him up. He put it 30 pound on him. So I'm just gonna hit up one of the local bait shops there. One thing that's crazy about the Colorado River is, so this comes back to whenever you guys fish, especially like you're in La Jolla, you have the MPAs. There's places you can fish and there's places you can't fish. And you always have to check those things because you get big fines, fat fines. Get apps like Fish Legal, stuff like that. So on the Colorado River, I want to be on the Nevada, Arizona. It's what separates Nevada and Arizona. So if you're on the river itself, fishing on a boat, a sea-doo, or anything, you need a fishing license for both places, or a fishing license for one, and then some sort of stamp or certification for the other. Same thing with the Arizona-California border. So if you have a California fishing license and you're fishing on the Colorado River that separates it, you need some sort of certification from Arizona. And it's the same thing up there. So you either get the Arizona license and get the Nevada, whatever that is, stamp, or you get the Nevada one and then you have to get the Arizona thing. Now, if you're fishing from the shore, if you're standing just on the shore on the Nevada side, all you need is a Nevada fishing license. And if you walk across the bridge and you're just standing on the Arizona side, all you need is an Arizona fishing license. But the second you're in the water, you need a license for both. So keep that in mind. Cass Queen, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. See you slaying it there all the time on social media. And you're fishing every single day. I've seen new pics of spotties. Maybe you can tell us, Cass Queen, what is it? I just had my wife on earlier. She was trying to explain the fishing for women. But you've got kids, right? And you go out there and fish. And what is it you like about fishing, or what got you out there? Or what advice would you give to get somebody's significant other out there to fish? I know it's typically a male-dominated sport, but I know I see you out there killing it all the time. That's awesome. Yeah, Eric, she's always, you need to follow her on Instagram. She's always out there posting pictures like crazy. Yeah, so you got to be on like I was saying, so check your licenses, all the time. You don't know where you're in a spot where you shouldn't be. Even up here in Carlsbad, there's lagoons you can fish, but then you just drive down south on the 5, and then suddenly there's bridges and lagoons that you can fish, and then some that you can't, that are protected by habitats. And then you go a little further and you go to Del Mar, and it's under a certain bridge you can fish by the dog beach, but then if there's one inland by the tracks, it's all protected land and you can't fish there. So you have to be really careful. I think especially when you get into those inland waters and the reserves, even on the bays, right? You got to watch out what's on the Navy land. I was out there going to the bait barge early last year or something, and I got lit up by the Navy police. They hit me with the lights and the horn because I was too close to the whatever that is, the submarine base or whatever. They were cool about it. I just paddled out to the side and they waved at me. But dude, I mean, they got a 50 cal machine gun on the front of their boat that they drive up with, and just a little too close. So you definitely got to know those things, because otherwise you don't want those fat fines. They don't mess around, man. I don't know what it is, but fish and wildlife fines are just they're out of control. Whenever you mess around hunting, fishing, any type of thing that they view as poaching or just in the wrong place or a restricted area, I mean, it's not gonna be cheap. You're not talking 50, 100, even $150 fine. I mean, you're probably talking 500 to a couple grand a pop. So don't mess around with that stuff, guys. Let's see what Cass can we say in here. I would just say get out there and getting bit. Either you love it so much and you become obsessed, or you love it or not so much. Yeah, yeah, I think that's true. I think a lot of people that don't like fishing have never caught fish. I know very few people that have gone fishing. They've had their reel take off and fought. And for me, it's getting that big bite, fighting the fish, and then eventually killing the fish, eating the fish. Preparing it. It's like the whole thing. It's like same thing as the hunting. Like I've gone, you hunt for birds or pheasant or whatever it is, bow hunting. It's like you kill something and then taking it home and eating it. There's something about that. It's I used to before I was bait fishing, I did almost all these exclusively boats or lakes, and I would just eat whatever everything that I caught. So it's so cool catching a huge bonito or a tuna or something like that, and just bringing it on board. And then when you have it at night, it's something primal about it. Or even just the fight in general. I know we catch and release here in the bays mostly. Um, and even still, it's just a fight. But I think a lot of people go out fishing and they don't get bit, and it's like it's not for them. You're like, oh, it's boring. You go out and waste 8 hours in a day and you don't catch anything. I understand that. You're like, why do people fish? It's stupid. When I first moved out here like 12 years ago, um, I went to the Carlsbad Lagoon and probably fished. What was it like? At least like 6 times, and then it catch
More.
maybe more, and then it catch a damn thing. And I would go out there and I would fish. And I had no clue what I was doing. I was like, I would throw random stuff. I just had no clue. I don't know why I didn't look on the internet then. It was 12 years ago, it wasn't that long. And it was just like, but I had been fishing before and I had caught fish. So like, I know how cool it is and how fun it is to have that experience catching fish. But I went to that lagoon probably 10 times before I caught a fish. And now I can go out there and catch pretty consistently. It's still pretty rough. I mean, I've come to find out Carlsbad Lagoon's a rough place to fish. It's not like San Diego or Mission Bay. I mean, dude, it's a struggle. The struggle is real catching fish over there because they dredge it, all kinds of factors. It's just not a real hot spot. And finally, I caught one. I think it was on a gulp sandworm. I just put out like a Carolina rig with a gulp little sandworm on it, and something bit it. I don't even remember what kind of fish it was. It was not a spotted bay bass. This was years and years and years ago. It was, I don't know if it was a perch or something. I don't even know. I don't know what kind of fish it was. And then, eventually you start figuring it out and you start catching, and then it becomes fun. Then it becomes sport. Once you realize you get that competency that you can catch and you realize you're starting to get good at catching, I think that's when it becomes fun. But that's why when new people want to go fishing, like we're setting up a fishing trip for our jiu-jitsu gym. We put some flyers out because everybody there is like, oh, I want to go fishing. I want to go fishing with you. Let's go fishing. So we're going to get on a boat. We posted the flyer, but I want to really set up a trip where I know we can catch fish. That's the most important thing, because I know if we go out in one of these oceanside ones and they go for rockfish, I've skunked on those before. Not too many fish out there, but we're going to go out to Orange County through Davies Locker. Like Catalina has never failed me. I have never not caught fish at Catalina. I've had slow days, but I think everybody there will catch fish there. Mm-hmm. Even though there's bonito, they're usually smaller, but you get bit. You get bonito, barracuda, and then there's rockfish too. They have everything there. And then the yellowtail come in too. So there's still a chance to get the big ones. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want a bluefin, or I want some yellowfin tuna, I want ahi. And it's like, just pump the brakes. You gotta, those don't always catch. You guys know that, those big game, like the bluefin tuna, it is not a guarantee you're going to go out there and catch bluefin. So you really got to be patient for that stuff. But I like taking people that haven't caught before on a boat where it's not a guarantee, but there's a pretty good chance they're going to feel that tug and then actually like it.
That's good comments to get up to.
Jackie, yeah, I love you too. See you in Arizona. That's my sister. So we're going to meet up in Colorado River. I'm going to be up there for a few days, go visit my dad. See, we got some more questions. Was there any before, Zach, or are you the next one, Zach?
Cass Queen was saying that her kids love catching mackerel. That's how she got started. She got a float tube.
Oh, Cass Queen, yeah, your kids were catching mackerel. You got a float tube. That's awesome.
All about the fight. Yeah,
it is all about the fight. Like just mackerel, right? I mean, we know they're trash fish and you throw them back. But I remember when I was a kid, I'd love catching the mackerel, setting them down like the off the boat and just catching a mackerel. It was still cool. It was so cool.
think Zach is the only question.
Let's see what you have to say for yourself, Zach. What are your must-bring lures to bring on a charter other than live bait?
Good question.
And it all depends what you're going for, Zach. I know that's like a. If you can clarify on that, whatever your every trip you go on is going to be different. So if you go on the half days and you look at, you can even ask them what they're targeting. The half day boats and stuff like that, like the daily double and some of those other ones, you're probably just going to go calicos, rockfish, sand. From what I saw, I was looking at the fish reports today. Barred sand bass were really big, so you're just going to bring your rockfish. The stuff that you use in the bay will probably work there. One lure I would bring, Brian will attest to this, is the crocodile lure.
Love that thing.
This thing freaking slays because this will get calicos, it will get bonito, it will get barracuda. If you were going to bring one lure, I would probably bring this one, to be honest with you. For offshore fishing, if you just want, like, if somebody told me what's one lure I could bring, it would probably be the crocodile lure. You just cast it out. You don't have to go that far, but man, these things, they just slay it. You'll catch not only bass, you can get yellowtails on these things, bonito, the tuna will bite it. But yeah, really, it depends what you're going to go for. Because if you're going to go for bluefin, you're going to bring those big knife jigs that I brought last time, those big slow fall ones. But a go-to, I would say, my must bring lure, definitely bring some crocodile lures for sure. Crocodile and slow pitch. I mean, for me, those pretty much will catch anything, even the slow pitch jigs like this thing. Because the crocodile lure you cast, this you can just drop vertical. You can catch rockfish on this. As you know, barred sand bass will kill this thing. Calicos will kill this thing. Pretty much the yellowtails will get these. Anything will get these things. So probably the vertical slow pitch, and then just for casting, like light casting, definitely bring a crocodile lure. And then the boat will have bait, so you don't have to worry about that. They'll bring the live bait. And sometimes you don't know what it is going to be biting. For some reason, it's usually one or the other that's the more popular bait with the fish. Either everybody's killing it on live bait or everybody's killing it on the artificial. So you want to be prepared for both. I've seen days where just nobody's catching on the live bait and everybody's got like the top irons and crocodiles and stuff like that. They're just smashing the artificials. And I've seen days where just all they're eating is live bait and they're not going for any of the artificial stuff. So bring bolt for sure.
Eric wants to know what's the story of the flag behind you, and Randall wants to know what would happen if you catch a tuna in your kayak.
Randall, if I catch a tuna in my kayak, well, I went out to La Jolla this weekend. I'll have a video up on that probably next week. I've been editing it today. And our goal there is to catch the big yellowtail. I mean, we're talking these big hogs that are huge poundage, and we try to catch those in our kayaks. You know, me and Salty went out there. We were 3 miles offshore this weekend looking for them. We had a hard time making bait, but I'll catch them, man. I'll just gaff it, take it for a ride, let it take you. You just be patient for stuff like that. Whenever you catch the big ones on your kayak, just let it take the drag. Don't let it pull you over, just be patient. You got time to bring it in, and you just bring a gaff, hook it in the head, drag it on your lap, cut its gills, and head in. If you catch something like that, if you catch like a tuna or a yellowtail, your day is pretty much done. You're not going to stay out there. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the meat. So once you get it, like when I caught that one giant halibut that one time, I just went in. I was there to fish all day, and I pieced out, caught the halibut, got it home, put it on ice. But yeah, like I caught a big halibut Randall one time, and I didn't have a gaff on me, and my net was too small. So I didn't really know what to do. So I reached in, I put my rod to the side. I just reached in with both hands and grabbed it, and I threw it in my kayak. And that thing, it was huge, and halibut are flat, and that thing was just like, it was thumping on the kayak like crazy. It was pretty wild. I caught a barracuda off an iron yesterday. That was fun until seal broke. Well, a seal got it, Zach. Yeah, dude, barracuda are fun, especially on the irons, man. I love fishing irons, little irons and top water, like the Tatty 45s. Man, it's so much fun. Got mine yanked by a sea lion. Yeah, you got yours, Rob. That's the thing too, when the sea lions are out, you got to be careful because I've fallen prey to it. You guys have seen it multiple times where I've lost fish to sea lions and then they rip it up in front of you. It's tough. It's a tough call because what do you do, right? You got to beat it, button it down, button that drag down, try to get it in the boat as fast as you can. But sometimes there's nothing you can do. There was very few sea lions out in La Jolla when we went out there. So I think it's a good sign is when there are sea lions, usually there's a lot of action. So it's like it's a give or take. When there's no sea lions, there's usually not as much not as much food there. Yeah, patient till the kelp starts rubbing on your. Yeah, Salty's got it right. Just be patient, and that's why we use that heavy braid too, because that stuff will help saw through that kelp. That's its whole point. It's super thin and super strong, and it just helps saw through that stuff, cut it through. So that's why your line matters. Yeah, we got to get you out there, Randall. It'd be fun. You'd love it. It's the extrovert dream because you're out in a kayak. There's like nobody else around you. Even though you're on comms, it's like you're just out there in the water by yourself a lot of times. You know, sometimes your cell service doesn't work, and like I was talking about, I was out there swimming with the dolphins this last weekend. Dolphins were there. Nobody was out. It was relatively dead, just 3 miles offshore in a little kayak. You know, you look down and hundreds of feet of water below you. It's pretty cool. It's a different experience. Fred's a great captain. Bring shrimp. They probably have some if you don't. Yeah, for sheep's head. Yeah, sheep's head definitely bring shrimp. They usually don't carry shrimp on the boat. His boat might. I don't know who Fred is, but most boat I've been on, they either have usually the anchovy or sardine. So just get some frozen shrimp or fresh if you're going to go the same day. That's even better. And you can catch sheep's head when a lot of people are, catching everything else. It's good stuff. Quartz braid for that, right, Zach? I don't think it matters. To be honest with you, maybe I'm not sure.
Eric wants to know about the flag.
Oh, the flag behind me, Eric. Sorry, I'll get to it. I forgot the flag behind me. That was actually hand painted for me. What's the guy's name? Pablo Laranaga, I think. And he's on. You can actually follow him on like Facebook, or I think he's on Instagram too. We went to church. Went to a church group. We do like home churches and stuff, and we had a meetup where everybody kind of met. And he's from South America, I think Argentina, maybe. And he was visiting the church group, and he's an artist. I think he's a pretty famous artist. I mean, this dude does like conferences and stuff like that. And he hand painted during the service. Did oil paintings like for the thing. So for like a week, he was like basically trying to make money to get back home. And he painted this. So with his hand, he does it with his bare hands, all with oil paint. And it's crazy. His hands are covered. And I don't know why he painted the American flag. It was over a decade ago, I think, at this point. And then we bought it from him. I mean, we just asked him how much. I don't even know. We probably gave him $100, 125, something like that, for the money. So it's a one of a kind. It's an oil painting from a South American artist, which is pretty cool. So it's got a cool story to it. We've had it all this time, and that is the flag story, Eric. The church flag. Yeah, Pablo. I'll have to put a link in there. I mean, it's pretty cool. He does a lot of work. He's a busy dude. He's an artist for sure. If you like that style art, but somebody oil painting with their bare hands is kind of crazy. But he's done like he did all kinds of other stuff too. I don't know why he did it in the American thing. He said something just like compelled him to paint the American flag, and he said something just put it on his heart. And he said like his hands were aching when he was painting it. It was a pretty cool story, But I know he'd done other things like animals and stuff, services before we came, for his way back. But yeah, he painted the American, right? A South American dude painting an American flag, and it was pretty cool.
Just said hi to Jesse and Saltwater.
Jesse, what's going on, man? How was your trip?
You got a new rod or something up here. If you look back.
How was the dance competition?
Carmen Echo Map.
Where is this? There's some other. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat, guys.
He said he got a Garmin Echo Map 74.
Oh, you got a new fish finder, dude. That's awesome.
And a pen spinning rod.
And a pen spinning rod, dude. That's great. Heck yeah! Is anything better than getting new gear that you don't even need? You're like, oh, this doesn't work anymore. I just need something else.
That's when you have to go to Turner.
Leonard, you made your dad cook mackerel that you caught as a kid. I heard people love it. There was like the Spanish or chub mackerel that me and Salty were catching. Dario was telling us that his wife loves them and he eats them too. I don't think they're not the greenbacks. I called them Spanish mackerel. I don't think that that's the right term. I think they're like chub mackerel or something like that. They're kind of like they're brown and orange on top, or like light tan. They're not green like our mackerels. Not like this.
Better announce the winner.
Yeah, you've been on kayak fishing before. That's awesome painting. Yeah, thanks, Zach. Saltwater Slayer, oos. Thank you, man. You guys, anytime you guys see somebody saying oos, it means they like the show. So I appreciate that. The likes really help, guys. That's awesome. And it's almost time to wrap up. So, further news, we have if you watched my last show, if you commented on my last video, it was, what was the name of the boat that was in my first video? All you had to do was comment. And we're going to put them in a random name generator. And you get to win some of these stickers.
They're upside down.
They're upside down. 2 stickers. Submission fishing stickers. These will be on the website too, guys. It should be up next week. Hopefully next week. The fish frosting is going to be for sale. Got this stuff. This is the shrimp frosting. Pretty much ready to go. So we got it. I got these new containers. These things are pretty awesome. They're super heavy duty. They're hard. The bottles we got rid of, and they're wide mouth. So then you can just get into you just dip your lure right in there, or you just stick your finger in there and get it. I was testing this stuff out again too. When we went out Friday, I was getting smashed. But hopefully next week we got the shrimp and the squid going up. Probably sell some of the stickers and stuff like that. But without further ado, we got Jessica with the drum roll.
And the random.
With the random.
And the
Winner is
Salty Dangler.
Salty Dangler. This guy, that's not even fair. He put his name in the freaking thing like 10 minutes before the show started. That's pretty funny. But hey, you did it. You got in there. It paid off. Congratulations, Salty. Just a random website. We put it in. We put it in the thing. It did its thing. Thanks everybody for commenting. We'll do some more. Should we do another one?
Yeah.
How about we do another one? So on this video, I got to think of a good question. Salty, by the way, just give me your address in Discord or a P.O. box or wherever you want me to send them. Or if you just want me to meet you on the water, I'm sure I'll see you one of these weekends. We'll get those stickers out to you. I like the new container. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, those the bottles just weren't working. I mean, there was too much left in there. The salt was hard to go through. It was like the growing pains, right? So I settled on this jar. They're nice. I mean, they're nice jars too. Super heavy duty. Sweet. Need to get some of those stickers. Yeah, so we're gonna do another one. Let me think of a question. What is a good question?
Eric thinks you and I should have a closing song that we sing. That's not gonna happen.
Closing song, Eric. I don't think you want me to sing.
Well, I want Eric and Michael to sing together.
Maybe you sing me a song, and then I'll put it out as the outro. We'll make like a music video. You can come up with a real banger for us. It'll be awesome.
Okay, what's a good question?
What is a good question? So for 2 more stickers, another giveaway. These are awesome. They got the metallic kind of hologram finish on them. Hard to see. I think my light's too bright. Let's see. So on this video, once it's done, you're going to comment. We'll make it easy. What color is my kayak that I fish on? I want the official color, the Hobie official color. So on this video, once we're done, just comment what color my kayak is, and then we'll put you in the name generator, and we'll get you in there. So if there's any more questions for you guys or for me, doesn't look like it. We're at the hour mark. Dude, it was totally awesome with you guys, talking with you guys. Good luck to Spotty Bowl for everybody. If you're not in the playoffs, definitely go out there and fish the side pots. Wish me some luck out there in the Colorado River. I'm gonna need it. Oh, I had a good story too that I didn't get to, but I think it'll take too long. So, oh my pint glass, yeah.
Shout out for that real quick.
My boy Rudy made this thing. It's got like a lure in there with the hook. Custom made. This thing is one of a kind. So I don't know where he came up with this. His wife made it for me. That's super awesome.
You should get a run of those.
I should have him do a run of those. Yeah, but that thing's awesome. Ugly orange. That's right, Eric. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna qualify for stickers. Mark G is. So Mark, comment on this video. So when I end this video, we'll upload to YouTube, and then just comment that color if you think that's the right answer into the thing, and then we'll do another drawing for some stickers. It's great hanging out with you guys. Hope you had fun. Go kill it this weekend. Be safe. Just have a good time. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. And like always, it's awesome fishing with you guys, and we'll see you next time, next Thursday, or I'll see you Monday. Yeah, for those of you that are new here, I know there are some new people in the chat. Go look up Fishy Hour on YouTube. So they were kind of the inspiration for the show. Roman does a live show, him and Brian, they do one. They did less shows, so that's why I picked this one up. He was doing more shows during the week, and then he dropped some, so that's where I kind of came in, just as like, hey, I'll do a show, give us some entertainment, stuff like that. So get him some likes. We're both trying to get up there. 1,000 subscribers is really the ultimate goal. You get to do more things with YouTube and stuff like that. But Fishy Hour, go to Fishy Hour on YouTube and just give him a subscribe on his channel. Watch it. He's Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays he does a one-man show. Wednesdays it's with him and Brian. Brian's a great angler, dude, tons of knowledge. He really does a lot of how-tos. He gets in deeps. He did hooks this week, what the different kind of hooks are. So if you really want some real fundamental down-to-earth, a lot of beginner stuff too is just really good. Like, where do I start? What do I do in the bay? How do I catch fish? Go check out that show, guys, and give them a like. It's totally awesome. Thank you, Jessica, for being on. We're trying to get the wives in here, represent the women on the show. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. It's been great. We'll see you next Thursday. Hopefully I'll have some stories. I have some other good stories. I'll give you a little insight. I ate my first spotty. There's a story to it. I didn't mean to harvest it, but I did because I had to. So next show, give you guys something to look forward to, tell you what happened, the whole story, how I got it, why I kept it, how it tasted, how I made it. That'll be a whole nother show. That was on the end of the thing here, but I want to get you guys out of here. I don't want to take up all your guys' time. So make you come back next week for the Chef's Body update. Should be fun. All right, guys. As always, it's been great. And go out there and submit some fish, man. Later.